Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. We are about to get started with the Advanced Compliance Labels webinar for Pacejet. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I am Sam Bush. I am the content manager at Pacejet. I'm going to be kind of facilitating our conversation today and making sure we get to all of your questions. So with that in mind, if you have any questions throughout the webinar presentation today, please utilize the question field on the right-hand side in your GoToWebinar interface. Those questions will pop up to Mike and I, and we can make sure to address them either during the webinar or after, depending on the time that we have at the end here. Another thing is on that same rail, we have our handout section. In there, you can find our Advanced Compliance Label data sheet. That's a great thing to just reference following after this webinar. So keep that in mind for a quick download. So like I said, Sam Bush, Content Manager, and then we also have Mike Panici, our Customer Success Manager. He's going to be going through kind of the content of the webinar today. So what I want to do first is start off with our agenda for the webinar, just so everybody knows kind of what the plan is here. The first things first, we're going to talk about how shipping innovation can help your business grow. Then we're going to talk about when shipment labels get complex and convoluted. Then we're going to go through an intro to our Advanced Compliance Labels module. Then we'll have a brief demo, and then some follow-up on how you can actually get started with this module through your Pacejet portal. And then we'll also touch on what comes next and those questions and answers. So right now I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Mike to go ahead and get us started with this shipping innovation that helps you grow.
Thanks, Sam. So to quickly introduce myself again, everyone, my name is Mike Panici. I am the Customer Success Manager at Pacejet. My primary role at Pacejet is to ensure our customer base is maximizing their value in how Pacejet software is used. So as many of you have heard on previous presentations, we at Pacejet do look at shipping as a science. And as many of you know, we at Pacejet pride ourselves with improving our customers' shipping experience through innovation, optimization, measurement, and personalization. And today's webinar is going to focus on the optimization and personalization aspects of our scientific shipping spectrum by allowing you to meet your customer labeling requirements more easily and efficiently. So just a fun little historical fact for everyone before we dive into the nuts and bolts of our integration today. In 1973, a pack of gum was actually the first barcoded product to be shipped. Industry leaders came up with the goal of uniquely identifying, capturing, and automating information about products, locations, and assets. So the result of this ended up being these packs of gum being barcoded and shipped. Fast forward to today, comes along this little company, some of you might have heard of them, called Amazon. So, who as a side note has really changed the shipping industry as a whole. And Amazon has compliancy requirements, as many of you know, which in turn forces you as the customer to pay manual processing fees if you do not have the accurate box content information on the labels, which, as you can see, involves barcoding scanning. But as you know, Amazon is not the only company on the block with compliance label requirements. We are now seeing different retailers and organizations in many different industries now have UCC 128 or GS1 labeling requirements consistently, but each with their own specific requirements. Many of these label requirements involve shipping data, barcode data, industry data, custom data, and of course EDI values, such as, for example, serial shipping container codes, also known as SSCCs. And as many of you out there, I'm sure, have experienced, the more trading partners you add into your portfolio, the more rules, data, and formats of labeling is in fact required. Some of these you see here are the more common retailers we at Pacejet see in speaking with our customers. So let's discuss Pacejet, starting from where our standard functionality begins and then leads into our advanced compliance label integration. So starting from the packing functionality of Pacejet, you as a customer can use Pacejet's Scan Pack module to actually validate and capture the detail for labeling. Then through Pacejet software, you would use our multi-carrier real-time rating feature to determine whether the shipment is going parcel versus freight. And then Pacejet would automate printing your shipping labels, bill of lading, export documents, amongst other forms that would occur. So now the need for Pacejet's advanced compliance labeling would come in from a workflow standpoint. So let's look at the workflow. Step 1, pack and ship in Pacejet. Step 2, the print connector in place will then send a signal for the standard Pacejet labels and paperwork to generate from the workstation. While this is occurring, the print connector is also sending a signal to our API, which in step 3 retrieves the appropriate data to send to the bartender software you as a customer would have in place. Step 4, the bartender software would send the complex labels and paperwork to the printers automatically to generate with the standard shipping documents from Pacejet. So in the workflow you just saw, we showed each step of the Pacejet Advanced Compliance Label integration, but as you noticed, in order for this to work efficiently, requires you as a customer to purchase the bartender software, specifically the 2016 Enterprise Automation version, which is what Pacejet supports. This bartender software not only is an essential part of the process, but allows you as a customer to have a central library for all of your retail or customer templates that would be used to generate the complex labeling or paperwork. Through the bartender software, you could make the necessary edits, updates, and store sophisticated barcoding. So in summary, you would purchase the Pacejet Advanced Compliance Label integration through Pacejet, and then the 2016 Bartender Enterprise Automation software from a certified reseller in order to have the tools required to automate the complex labels or documents. So now that we've given a somewhat in-depth overview of this integration, let's see how it works. So in this demonstration, we're going to take a quick look again at the Pacejet Advanced Compliance Labels module and how you can create labels for GS1 or UCC 128 retail compliance, as well as a wide variety of other use cases. So for this demo, we're going to start by sending a shipment via the Pacejet API, so you can use any of the pre-built integrations with Pacejet. This shipment is going to be an LTL shipment that's already pre-packed. So we have a couple of pallets here that I will set. So if I look at my items, I've already got items already pre-packed on my pallet, and my weights are already set in, so everything is in the same workflow, the same integration, whether you have NetSuite or Microsoft Business Central, what have you. Then you will select the carrier or let the rate shopping select your carrier, process, and ship via parcel or freight as usual. So we process our shipment and now have the print connector set up automatically to send documents to the printer. So I could drill down on the standard documents that Pacejet provides from our library and so forth, look at the ship labels and what have you. You can get the, and you'll also notice there is a trigger label that causes the integration with Bartender to allow you to produce a much more expansive set of documents and labels. So when that label gets printed, it actually triggers Bartender application to generate or create the other labels. So this label here was just created by that integration, which automatically uses the Pacejet API to get all the other data around the shipment and generate a label form using the standard tool sets that's available in this integration with Bartender to generate a multi-pallet labels. So you can see the first pallet label has a couple of items on it with barcodes, as well as the second label with different items on it with the same kind of coding. Now, just like the standard Pacejet labels and other documents that you're used to, this is fully automatic. So the data flows down to Bartender where it is mapped in with the flexible forms provided by that application. We could take a look here at the data file that gets transmitted, and you can see that there are several methods of sending data that are supported by the Bartender, including CSV files and other formats, which you can see here. So let's open up this file just as a quick example. You can see the data is mapped in from Pacejet automatically. All the fields, all the contents for ship level and container level are available as part of your Bartender data map. You also have full access to the Bartender's tool set for managing the integrations, monitoring, and administering it, which means you can create a central library of library templates. You can use intelligent templates to dynamically adjust the layout and contents of your labels based on data conditions such as customer ID and so forth. You got quite a bit of flexibility in terms of managing libraries, extending the templates, aligning different kinds of documents to different kinds of use cases. All of them get triggered, of course, with the standard workflow that we just went through, so it makes the process very quick, very easy to go through and do standard Pacejet shipping and use advanced compliance labeling to expand into a wide range of additional templates and layouts for not only labels, but also for documents and other output that you might need. So that's it for this quick demonstration. So at this time, I would like to provide everyone with my contact information so you can reach out to me in order to get started with moving forwards on this integration, and we will also start accepting questions facilitated by Sam pertaining to today's webinar. Sam, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you and see what questions we got.
Yeah, we did get a few come through. I'll start off with some of the easy ones. So first things first, how do I purchase Bartender? Is there a quick process for that?
Yeah, good question. So the easiest way is to purchase from your local reseller. To find out who your reseller is, you can go to SeagullScientific.com. That's SEAGULL scientific.com, or if you would like, I'm more than happy to find out for you and reach out directly to Seagull Scientific to find who your local reseller to purchase is. Either or.
Perfect. And then a follow-up to that is if we don't have the most recent version of Bartender, the one that you mentioned, I think was the 2016 Enterprise Automation, what do they do if they don't have the most recent version?
Yeah, good question. A couple different things on that. You do have the ability to upgrade from your version of software to that. So you can purchase that upgrade through your local reseller. What we have found, so again, so everyone's aware, our tested integration and what we support is the 2016 Bartender Enterprise Automation software. The key word there is automation. There is another bundle called the Bartender Automation Bundle, which could possibly work with Pacejet. It's just nothing that we support at this time, but that Bartender quote-unquote listener is in that bundle, so that could possibly work with Pacejet. But again, that upgrade capability is there to purchase from your reseller.
Perfect. All right. And then how does Bartender actually know which printer will generate each label that you're printing? What's the process there?
Right. So it's actually in the print connector signal that Pacejet passes to Bartender with the actual name of the printer on it. So Pacejet will have we'll have that direction within the signal that we do send to bartenders. So that is within our advanced compliance label integration. Good question.
Okay. A couple more came through here for you. Do we offer an integration with NetSuite for this?
Yeah. So the integration itself is with the bartender software. So the integration is not focused at NetSuite or any other ERP for that matter. This is designed so you as a customer, so this could work for any ERP. Mm-hmm. The long and the short of it. This isn't tied to any thing ERP specific. As long as you have the appropriate bartender software in place, this advanced compliance label integration from Pacejet could work with that. So therefore, it would be ERP agnostic, if you will.
Okay, perfect. A couple of other ones that we might have to consult the product team about, but I'll go ahead and ask in case you do know. So the first one is, can Pacejet use FPS supplied labels, or would they need to create their own format through Bartender?
Yeah, that's a good question. And we do have certain SPS integration that Pacejet offers for data mapping and such, but when it comes to the actual automation of the UCC labels and SPS specific labels, they would want to create that in Bartender. And then the Pacejet advanced compliance label integration would trigger that to automatically print and generate upon shipment. So long and the short, they will want the Bartender software and the Pacejet advanced compliance label integration in order to automate that.
Okay, perfect. And then one last one. Does Pacejet support freight forwarders for international shipments?
Freight forwarders, so that's more of a carrier network question. Mm-hmm. We have certain freight consolidators, LTL, parcel consolidators. I want to say our network's somewhere close to 67, might even be at 70 carriers now. Mm-hmm. But freight forwarders are typically not, as a company, what we put in our network. Mm-hmm. From a ocean air international standpoint.
Yeah, and with that being said, if there is a specific freight forwarder that you'd like to discuss in more detail, we can definitely follow up with you individually about your ask there on the question.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that is all the questions that we have time for. There were a couple of others that came through. I will have Mike reach out individually to you on some of those questions as they were a little more either specific or things kind of outside of some of the discussion today. So, Mike, any further thoughts before we kind of close out?
Nope, just a quick highlight, talking futuristically here. So in our next webinar, it's going to be focused on our upcoming feature called NetSuite Shipping Quotes, which will provide line level control to have rate shopping occur actually on your NetSuite sales order form. So this obviously is an exciting new feature that we will be coming out with very soon. So that being said, this does conclude today's webinar. I hope it was very informational to everyone. There will be a recorded session being sent out to follow, so please don't hesitate to reach out to me for more information, pricing, questions, and so forth on this advanced compliance label integration. So on behalf of Sam and I, thank you very much for attending. We look forward to speaking with you all soon. Have a great day.
Thanks so much. Bye.